Hey! Here we are, episode 12 of Rupaul's Drag Race season 10! So, last week we bid adieu to the thin, white, salty cracker. Damn it! And the girls come back into the workroom and Cameron has miraculously survived a third lip sync. It's at this point that the others finally start to see her as a threat properly. Asia realises what she said about Cracker was not being a star was pretty shitty. Just because you think something doesn't mean you should say it. That's not being fake, it's more about not being unkind. The girls compare wins and it's a bit of a dick length comparison moment. We all know that challenge wins do not always mean overall win, otherwise we would have had some quite different queens crowned. Back into the workroom. This week's mini challenge is missing. There is no mini challenge, and that's because we have arrived at the single rewrite challenge. So each contestant must rewrite Rupaul's song American with their own verse and lyrics and record them. They will then learn choreography, which is going to be taught by the ever-present dance mistress Rupaul, and they'll also be interviewed by Rupaul and Michelle Visage for What's the Tea? Back into the workroom, Aquaria is excited, Eureka is going to rap, and Asia is not feeling confident. Cameron, weirdly, is being really quiet. So out of character. Aquaria disappears to meet Todrick Hall and Kummerspec. She's going to record her verse for American, and it's such a funny disconnect between what her perception of what's going on and what really is going on. She's out of tune and doesn't really know how to sing, but leaves thinking she's completely smashed the challenge. It's so weird. Eureka onto the podcast and talking about whether she felt really like she was going to be able to make it through the competition or not. RuPaul spouts some more sofa psychology, which of course is lovely. Eureka talks about her mum being her strength and giving her belief, which is a little teary. Asia is in the studio trying to sell her verse. She isn't a singer, but she is able to listen to feedback and alter what she's doing so she can take constructive criticism and work with it, which in my work and most of my aspects of my life I found is more important than being able to do the thing in the first place. If you can listen and after what you've been doing you can become better, then you're going to do better than somebody who was just good in the first place. You know, you can become great, whereas if they're good and can't listen, they'll never be great. Aquaria's into the podcast, and for some weird reason, RuPaul wants to call her Joey. I don't know. Aquaria does well and drops a joke that lands, so maybe she is learning as the show goes on. We learn that Aquaria was just a baby when she first saw Drag Race, and so has genuinely grown up with it. She went to fashion school for a year before leaving and then is now learning to sort of look after the boy as well as the girl. Cameron is in What's the Tea? And it's a bit of a revelation. RuPaul says when she's not on camera, she talks plenty, which is weird. She also talks about how Cameron hasn't managed to open up about who she really is. We learn more about Cameron and his history here than in the whole rest of the season, which is weird. They're pretty hard on Cameron, which from what we know last week from RuPaul and the production staff, they've been pushing Cameron to be more involved and more vocal, but she's refused to. Usually people who refuse to play the game in TV, they don't last very long. So it is a testament to Cameron that she's made it this far. Eureka is in the studio and does a good job, follows instruction and gets better. She talks about her fear of singing not being president. The elephant noise is hilarious. What? Asia in the podcast and a bit of flirting from Ru. You don't look 35. Ooh. We hear about Asia's loss of parents at 27, which is horrendous. But through that, she's found a capacity to build family more strongly out of people who are not related to her. She talks about her breakthrough. Remember who you are. It's probably one of the best pieces of advice any of us could hear. You don't have to be everything to everybody. You just have to be the best you. Recognize and know what that is. What is it that makes you special? And use that. Cameron is in the studio and is pretty much what we expect. She can sing. That's not an issue. And in her VT, is she being honest when she's saying, I need to be amazing, but I'm pretending to be worried about it? Nah, it doesn't ring true, does it? She knows how to use her voice and is more capable here than she's letting on. Back in the workroom, and we have the fake drama between the girls. They all clearly really like each other. So this whole, Eureka's pushing, Asia's doing, it's all just a producer's thing, you know, to create some more drama where there wasn't really anything. Because we can see they're all laughing, it's a friendly exchange. Todrick is properly earning his money in this episode. Singing, dancing, directing, I mean, he might as well be operating the camera as well. Aquaria does exactly what we expect from her and brings it to the choreography. It all gets a bit much and she starts to cry from excitement, which is cute. Asia is next, and while not a trained dancer, she brings it as well. Her lines aren't perfect, but the intention is. Cameron struggles to retain all the steps, which, you know what, that's fair enough, because with all these tiny hand gesture bits of choreography, it just takes masses of repetition. Eureka is properly lost at this point. It's just not happening at all. It's the same thing we saw with Cracker about being present. She's thinking so much about the steps that she can't actually do them. Like, we've all been there, where everybody else knows exactly what's going on and we're just like, Elimination day, and the girls are treated to a cocktail. Ooh! Cameron decides it's time to join the others to get ready. I mean, it's only taken all season. It doesn't last long though, because it's a bit too hot, so she goes off where she was before. The rest of the girls are talking about their best and worst moments, and all the stuff they wish they'd done differently. The girls all think that they're the winner, but not. Well, apart from Aquaria. Then Asia is real again, and the true winner is, of course, Fancy, Miss Fancy, Miss Fancy. Now for the main stage, and we get a quick political announcement. Make sure you're registered to vote for the midterms. And now, it's showtime. This is brilliant. Every bit of it is great. Aquaria's lyrics are cute and clever. Her choreo is very sort of new Broadway. I'd have liked a little more shimmer in the tights to soften the legs against the velvet, but otherwise gorgeous. Asia looks beautiful as ever with the massive bouncy hair. Her lyrics tell a story, and well, the choreography is sort of community dance all working together and then into cheerleader, which she does a great job of delivering. And I'd just liked cleaner finishes on some of the turns. Eureka's verse is pure Eureka. All her little catchphrases and her beliefs in how to live. The choreography is well done, apart from the plie that goes round. Like, that needed a lot more depth there. You need to bend those knees. She looks great and uses the long ponytail well. Cameron gets my favourite choreography of the whole section. It's super fast, super sharp, and she delivers it brilliantly. She looks great throughout. She's in a wig, however, that we've seen before, and it's got that weird parting, and she still looks great, but not my favourite. Runway, Aquaria in black and diamante leotard with attached chap-style skirt. She looks great. Asia's in a pastel aqua and gold structured dress with super massive hips, like super massive. Crystals on her chin. Cameron's in a lilac nude illusion even dress. Covered in crystals, it's super beautiful. Eureka in a bodycon dress with Eureka written on it and a light bulb on her head. The thing is, Eureka was not attributed to Thomas Edison. It was Archimedes who discovered the volume of water displacement by being equal to the body submerged when he got into his bath. This helped to solve a problem about a golden crown, so maybe she should have worn a bathtub or a crown on her head. The dress is a definite risk, to be honest. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. The critiques this week, it's basically, we love you, we really love you. And you know what? Rightly so. They've all done brilliantly. The photo section is, as always, the point that makes me cry. It's designed specifically for that, and it almost always works because I think every single one of us has had problems that we've had to deal with, all the things we're taught not to be by society, and the things that actually make us special. You know, we're told not to be those things. So, when it's a lip sync between them all, it's not a huge shock when RuPaul decides to keep them all for the final. It also means that we get to have another smackdown in the final, which I am here for. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with the reunion review video, and I shall see you there.